Hi team, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us on the Everyone Active podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Jo Hancock.
And I'm the other host, Michelle Laurie. Hello, welcome to episode
Hello, beautiful.
4.
Yeah.
How are you?
Season 2, episode 4.
Season 2, episode 4.
I'm really good,
Good
my
week.
darling. Yeah, really good week. Had a few days off.
Nice.
It's like, ah.
That's nice.
So now all rejuvenated.
Oh, we'll talk about that later.
See what I've done there.
She drops it in.
See what I've done there. So team, this episode we are talking about our warming up and our
Cooling down. Yes. And we're going to talk about how long you should warm up, cool down for, the benefits of it, forms of warming up and cooling down, different tools you can use.
Absolutely. So like the pre-exercise before your main workout.
Yes.
Your cool and your stretch afterwards, but then also what you can do in between your heavy sessions to also help your body.
And to help aid with recovery.
Yes.
Make sure you don't get injured, etc. And should we also talk about myths as well? There might be we could do some myth busting. We've not done myth busting yet in this season, have
No.
we? Okay,
We
let's
did that.
make it a thing.
Dun, dun,
dun,
dun.
Yeah,
Myth
let's make
busting.
that a thing for this episode that we do some myth busting.
I'm actually going to scribble that down.
Are you?
I'm going to write myths.
I love it when she scribbles it down.
Feel all like
When Jo scribbles it down, it means that it's important.
Man, it's there. It's there.
Do you, honestly,
Yes.
Wait.
Yes. Yes.
do you always warm up?
Yes.
Do you always cool down? Ah, Jo.
I cool down.
I'm not angry with you. I'm just disappointed.
I cool down, I don't let my heart just like
You might
boom, come back
disappointed
down
face.
again. And I do stretch, but I know I don't do enough.
Ah,
I am that person. I
dear.
take time doing my warm up
okay.
and then I'm all in my workout and I do have my little cool down. I do bring my heart rate down. I do work through those muscles, but then I also go, if I did this for a little bit longer, or if I made this a little bit more effective, my DOMs wouldn't hurt as much the next day.
Yeah.
Hold up, still doing it. Created a bad habit. So that might be a do as I say, don't do as I do on that bit. However, do you, Michelle?
I have to say, now, I always warm up, and I always make sure I do a proper cool down, because probably about 6 years ago, I was a little bit like you, wasn't possibly doing as much of a cool down as I should do, and I got very badly injured.
This. Yes.
And now I am absolutely on it all the
Dedicated.
time. Yeah, I always
That's
make sure
why I
do.
will 100% be do as I say, don't do as
Yeah.
I do, because I know the importance of it.
Yeah. So not only helps with your performance, helps you stop getting injured, it's got so many other benefits, hasn't it?
Yeah, massively. Should we talk about warming up?
Yeah.
Start
So, okay, so let's talk about warming up in a traditional, say you're going to go for a workout in the gym, for example. How would you warm up for that? Do you tend to just mimic what you're going to be doing, or do you have a set warm up that you do regardless of what you're going to be doing in the gym?
So if I am doing a full body warm up, full body workout
Yep.
in the gym, then it is really important to do a full body warm up.
Yep.
If, however, I am going in and I know that I'm having a leg day, I'm not going to spend a whole heap of time mobilizing through my upper body unless I know that move specifically is going to be featured within my leg workout.
So the importance of warming up and mobilising, as you just said, it's going to let us have all that synovial fluid released into around our joints, so it stops us getting injured, etc.
Yeah.
And if you're doing, say for example, you're going to be doing a swimming workout, would you get in the water and work out, or would you warm up on the side of the pool?
So you could probably do both.
Yeah.
You could absolutely probably
I think
do
I'd
both.
probably like to do it in the water, I think.
I agree with you. But you could absolutely do
Yeah.
it beforehand. You could do it before, even in the changing rooms, if you're
Yeah.
ready to take it off and go. All right, team. So in terms of our warm-up,
Yeah.
it is so important to do because we are now starting to trigger our beautiful, wonderful bodies, that the machines they are, to start preparing
Yes.
ourselves for the workout that is coming up.
Okay, so let's think about that in detail then. So let's list those out and see exactly what you mean by that if people aren't sure.
Absolutely. So because we've got a workout coming up, we want to prepare our body for what's coming. So we can break it down, I suppose. By moving now,
Yeah.
we're going to be increasing our heart rate.
Yeah.
So we've now got blood circulating around the body. That blood is going into our muscles. It's going to help us prep for our workout
Yeah.
that's coming up. So we've got the increased heart rate.
Okay, brilliant.
Mental preparation.
So important.
Cut out the stress that's potentially happened beforehand. Don't have to think about work. Don't have to think about what's coming tomorrow. You want to have that mental focus on what you are
What you're doing.
about
Yeah, absolutely.
to do. Your central nervous system, wonderful, wonderful,
Yeah.
wonderful central nervous system is now going, okay, I remember these patterns. I know these patterns. I'm going to start prepping for what's coming up. So
Yeah.
we've got our central nervous system. And then we've got the good old synovial fluid.
So mobilisation.
So through our joints, it's like a synovial fluid is a lubricant, basically,
Yep.
of our joints. So we need to get that through our joints to stop and help prevent injury. So that's kind of the fundamentals for our warm-up and
Yeah.
what we are doing it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bust a myth right
Go on,
now.
Go.
So in our warm-up,
Yeah.
by the end of our warm-up or in it, we're actually going to be mimicking the intensity of the workout that's coming up. So if we know we've got a 30-minute, 20-minute HIIT session, but we know we've got high intensity coming
Yes.
up, within our warm-up, our 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, again, that's dependent on how long your exercise is going to be beforehand.
Yeah.
We need to be actually feeling like, whoa, we're in that training zone.
What you're saying is you're almost mimicking what you're going to be doing in the main part of your workout.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I suppose that's specifically if we're cardio based.
Yeah.
If we are going to go in and we're going to do a strength based training program, and I am going to be doing a leg workout.
So if you're doing legs, would you bother warming up your upper body in that point?
I might have a little bit of it.
A little bit of just a token.
But I'm going to focus on getting the blood flow and my head and my central nervous system on the fact that I want to be working my legs.
So I think that's a really key message, isn't it? To think about what activity you're going to be doing, whether it is going in the gym, whether it's going for a swim, whether you're going to go be playing squash or badminton or whatever it is you're doing. Think about the end goal.
Yes.
And then make sure that your warm up mimics that in some fashion.
Yeah, absolutely. So if I'm doing a strength-based set, part of my warm-up, so if I've done a very generic warm-up, then I'm going to go specific in my warm-up. So I'm going to potentially do the exercises that I'm going to do on my legs. Let's say a leg press.
Okay.
So I'm sitting on the machine.
Yeah.
My feet are up on
The plate.
the plate, and I push that away from me.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that, but with a really light weight.
Perfect.
So that is my warm-up. That's my muscles going, okay. That's my blood flow increase to my muscles. That's my brain going, okay, we know this
We know
movement.
what's coming.
Yes. So you can use the same moves that you're going to do in your workout, just with a lot lighter weight.
Perfect. That really explains it well. Hooray for you. And in terms of if you are going to go into a studio class, which is kind of like an instructor-led class, it pretty much goes without saying they're going to be creating a warm-up for you.
Yes.
So in that sense of things, you as an individual don't have to physically think, what am I going to be doing? Because your instructor, who is amazingly qualified,
Yeah, absolutely.
is going to have planned that out for you already.
Yeah.
So it almost takes some of the pressure off of you.
It absolutely does, and you know that you are in that safe environment that
Absolutely.
actually you've warmed up.
Yeah.
The correct muscle groups, the correct joints. We've got you to an intensity
Yeah.
that is there.
Yes, absolutely.
We would, though, take ownership of your own body, though, because we know
Absolutely,
that you
yeah.
can feel different on different
days, yeah, absolutely.
And if you're going, today I'm not sure, but I've turned up, then maybe your intensity isn't going to be what it was last week. So
Yeah.
just play that part in your own warm-up as well.
Yeah, I think you need to take a little bit of accountability as an individual, don't you, whatever it is you're doing. And I think if you're in a class environment, you might not even notice that you've gone from the warm-up into the main section of your class. You might not even notice that transitions happen because if you're listening to this thinking, well, my instructor never does a warm-up, they do. You just haven't noticed it because, as we were saying earlier, about mimicking the movement patterns,
Yes.
that's what they've done for you. So that's why if you're thinking, well, I haven't done a warm-up, you will have done.
Yep. Okay. The importance of warm-ups.
So obviously helps prevent, as well as all the physiological benefits, it's going to help you stop getting injured.
Yes. Why?
So it's going to give you much more longevity in your workouts. I don't know if you've ever have you had major injuries or anything like that? Have you been injured?
Have I not told you this? Oh, we're going to have a little giggle. So, classic me. Like, yes, if we're going to do it, we're going to go big. Marathon assault course.
Oh, Joe.
Oh, yes.
What's to become of you?
I know, a marathon assault course.
What were you thinking?
I was really excited by it, but did all the training, did all the prep.
Okay.
Was doing it, competing with my friend Adam. Hi, Adam. He was a PT that worked in the gym with me at the time. Did all the prep. We did training, we did long runs, got to mile 21, was on a 6-foot wall, footing, slipped, fell, ow, goodbye ankle.
Oh dear.
Ew, ew, ew. So then that is the reason that I make sure that I do a lot of warm-up, because I know that I had a big injury through my ligaments in my ankle, and if I don't warm them up properly, then they're going to let me know about it, and I don't want that to happen.
No, it's not nice, is it?
Nope.
It's really not nice. And how long was your recovery after that? Was it a long time?
I was back to where I was before, probably 6-7 months afterwards, because my whole range of motion had gone. So then by the fact that I couldn't have any range of motion, I could put no strength through it. So it was like a little retrain.
Ouch.
See, do as I say, don't do as I do.
Yeah,
Always
exactly.
warm up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've talked about prevention of injury, the warm-up in it.
Yeah.
Other benefits of our warm-up.
Well, for me, it's always getting myself into that mindset. It really is for me. It's kind of like, I think you mentioned it a moment ago, you can forget about what you need to get from the supermarket, what's going on in your life. Literally for me, it's getting myself into that mindset and thinking, right, here we go. And that's a really big thing for me when I'm going to do some sort of exercise.
Yeah. And maybe we can do a little myth as well.
Go on.
The moment you start your exercise, or the moment you start your class, or the moment you start your swim, you don't need to go 100% from dot. It's so important to gradually work your way to that.
It's almost like climbing up a little hill, isn't it?
You can have a little peak, and back down again, and then go again.
Yeah.
But so we'll myth bust. You don't walk in a door and go 100% in your workout.
And I think
need to have warmed it.
Also, you'll see there are signs outside studio doors within all of our facilities, and it actually does say on those signs that if you're more than 5 minutes late for your allotted class, group exercise class, the instructor can actually tell you that you can't enter, and that is because it's so important to warm up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, I understand that things happen and, you know, sometimes you are late, but don't be surprised if you get to a session and actually your instructor says to you, I'm really sorry, I've finished the warm-up now, you can't come in my class. And it's not because they're being awkward, it's because they don't want you to get injured.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And so another benefit, I guess, of our warm-up is, we spoke about it as in the what happens, is the blood flow to our muscles. But it's the blood flow that brings the oxygen to our muscles, and it's the blood flow that brings the nutrients to our muscles. And we need that blood to help with the muscle contractions. And it's going to, just all-round benefits from warm-ups. Warm up.
We know what you mean.
Thank you.
Have you used any different pieces of kit in your warm-up at all?
Oh, what do you mean by...
Okay, here's a question for you. Do you ever foam roller or use any kind of equipment before you've done your exercise?
Yeah, I absolutely do. I definitely do. So I would probably start on a foam roller.
Yeah.
And I'm getting that blood flow to my specific muscle.
So if you're not
groups.
sure what a foam roller is, it looks like a great big tube, really, doesn't it? It's a big thick tube in a diameter maybe of about 6 inches, maybe.
Yep.
And it's kind of wrapped in like a noduley, rubbery covering.
Some can be completely flat, can't they? And some have got the nodules on it. Yes.
And basically what that does, it just releases all of your fascia. We'll talk about that a bit later, but all of your fascia in your muscles. So it's a really good thing to do. So we have just launched a new class.
Dun, dun, dun!
Called EA. That's a good fanfare.
Over there. It's like we know each other.
We didn't even rehearse that. Called EA Rejuvenate. And this is something that's being rolled out in all of our centres. And again, this really is something that you can do either as a standalone class. You can add it onto your PT session. You can add it on at the gym floor, but it incorporates pieces of kit. Mainly we use little myofascial release balls. They're like a hard ball.
I'm sorry, what release?
So, okay, fascia.
Yay!
So if you think of the easiest way I can describe it is, when you buy a chicken breast and you peel the skin of the chicken breast, there's that thin, sinewy thing. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
So that is attached to all of your muscles, your ligaments, it goes all around all your organs and all your body, and we need to release it. So I have now started doing that kind of work before I exercise and after.
Yes.
So I've been a very good girl.
That's really, really important. And you can now as well with the myofascial release. I guess visually, if somebody's seen somebody that's maybe been to a physio or a sports massage, the taping that you can get actually acts as a form of myofascial release. Because it's kind of, I describe it as like a bit of cling film over the top of your muscle.
Yeah.
And we're releasing that cling film up a little bit so your muscle has that space to move, grow, the blood flow can go in and the blood flow can repair that muscle.
Yeah. But all of that kind of fascia work is so good for, helping with scar tissue. It can stop you becoming injured. And certainly the people that I see in my classes have come straight from the gym floor. They've never been to a group exercise class before, or they've done lots of things like lots of cycling classes. So they might have very tight hips, or we do specific things to release that. And again, it's kind of one of those things that it hurts, but it's a nice hurt.
Yes.
It does sound like a labour ward when I'm teaching a class.
It was. Honestly, I've spoken about it before, but when I walked in to the class that you were taking, she was working on their bottoms. And the ball was underneath. And you got into their piriformis, which is one of your muscle groups there, and the noises coming from everyone on the floor was like, ooh.
I love my job.
Yay!
Was I maniacally laughing, or was I being supportive?
You had a very big smile on your face.
I love my job. But it's so good for them.
Yes.
But I think, especially, I don't know about you, but in the last maybe 18 months, all of this kind of like looking at foam rolling and self-myofascial release, which is always a bit of a tongue twister to say, it's become very popular. You see lots of people doing it on the gram, don't you?
Yes.
On the old Instagram. Everyone's doing it. I think people are just suddenly waking up to the fact that actually there is a science behind this, and that actually is a real benefit to it as well. So I think it's become a little bit more popular, because I think maybe a few years ago you didn't really see many foam rollers and stuff on the gym floor, did you?
No, definitely. And I think maybe also the majority of a style of exercise has also changed. So that's why we have to spend time in that warm-up. We have to spend time in our cool down, and we have to look after our bodies, because there's a lot more strength training going on. There's a lot more cross training going on. There's an increase in the intensity of the exercises that we're doing, which could be a reflection of the intensity of the environments that we are now living in.
Very possibly, yeah.
But yeah.
And talking about that, cooling down, I mean, we've spoken about that sometimes neither of us have been particularly good in the past, but we're trying to mend our ways. So let's just go there. When you're cooling down, say for example, you've done your leg day in the gym.
Yes.
Have you got a specific cool down that you always do, or do you mix it up a little bit, or how do you tend to do that?
So I mix it up depending on, like, I suppose I have the advantage of actually knowing my body.
Yeah.
So I can feel
where you've got those little niggles and things.
But also how elevated my heart rate has become because of it. So then even if I need to go on a walk around the gym just to bring my heart rate down, or I'm going to stand on the treadmill just to bring my heart rate down and get that blood flow flowing again, I will do that. And then they are in Harpenden Gym now, which is amazing. I do have one at home because I know what you're going to say. I'm a lazy roller, so therefore I found a solution.
Go.
Theragun.
Amazing. Yay! So these are in quite a few of our sites now, aren't they, these Theraguns? Yes, very. So for people who don't know what a Theragun is, briefly explain to me what I can expect from a Theragun.
So Theragun, handheld device.
Okay.
And it has got a little vibrating connection on the end, so it can be a ball shape, it can be slightly a soft arrow head.
Pointy arrow might be quite hard.
And the vibration You move it down the muscle that you've been working.
And I'm right in saying that you're in control of it, Ollie, because you're in
Yes.
control of the intensity that
Yes.
comes out of it. So you're very much in control of that. So you can find, I call them a hotspot.
Yeah.
When I teach in Rejuvenate classes, and you can concentrate on those areas, can't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess it's a similar but not the same. If you went for a sports massage, and you are lying on the bed and then they're trained to work out where those knots are, they can feel them with just a touch, and then they found that high connection of muscle tissue, which is your knot, and they've pressed into it and you've gone, whoa!
I have to say, I should probably apologise to my physio because I have... Sorry, Sue. I know she watches this as well. I did kick her quite a few times.
It's just that release of, oh!
And I think I swore quite a lot at her. So again, she's a lovely lady.
Mishy.
I know.
So, but when you're with the Theragun, if I've just done legs, I am sitting down. So I'm sitting down, so my muscles aren't working, they're not fired off. And I've got this little vibrating machine on my muscles. And
we're actually really lucky because these Theraguns they only used to be available if you went to a physio, didn't they, these things? And now a lot of our Everyone Active sites have got them. I dubbed it the gun from hell, I remember, when she used to use it on me. Which I think is quite a good description.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, yeah. Especially if you found one of those trigger points, you're like, ooh.
It really does make you shudder, doesn't it?
But then it's the mind strength, again, mindset.
Yeah,
You've got to be able to hold that machine on it, not just avoid the area knowing that it's going to...
Do you... I think for me, people... I mean, I've seen it happen in my classes a few times, and people just leave at the end of my class without doing a cool down.
Yes. Ooh. Yes. No. Can you stop that?
Please stop it. Really upsets me.
Please.
Just don't. Just stay.
And especially now in so many of the gyms, we do have a specific cooling down, stretch zone, rehab area. Even if you don't want to sit on the studio floor or standing against the studio whilst we are stretching down from it, go into the gym, find that Theragun or find that foam roller.
Or something. And if you're not sure what to do with it in the gym, go and ask one of these guys, because you all know what to do with them, don't you?
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
it's not just prescribing you some sort of a workout plan. You're also going to be very prescriptive in the kind of cool down that you give people as well. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's throw this one in here. If this isn't motivation, I don't know what else.
Okay.
If you have an effective warm-up and you add a cool down to the end of your exercise, you are going to be decreasing your chances of getting DOMS the next day.
Wow.
Or maybe 2 days later. Delayed onset of muscle soreness.
Yeah.
So the importance of the warm-up, like there's the scientific studies have actually shown that the warm-up is sometimes more important even than the cool down and stretch in terms of the effect of DOMS. But the specific point, so that's DOMS, is if you don't cool down properly, your risk of injury...
Oh my goodness. Just goes absolutely through the roof, doesn't it?
Through the roof. But I mean, you can talk to us more a little bit about that because you are our Pilates, you are our flexibility.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what I've kind of started to incorporate a lot more of yoga into my everyday kind of workout regime because I see the benefits of it so much. Just having that extra flexibility.
Let's detail that. So when we are working out and when we are training our muscles, we are effectively, especially if you're doing strength, you are tearing your muscle fibres so that all of our lovely cells can go in, repair, get stronger because we're increasing the cells in that area. So then when we go to sleep, our bodies are amazing fixing machines.
They are.
We then release hormones to go in and fix them. So it's our collagen that then goes in.
Yeah.
So if you imagine your muscle fibres, so if you have your fingers together and then both hands are going towards each other, those muscle fibres fit.
Kind of interlock into it together, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. So our collagen is designed to go and fix those muscle fibres up and maybe secure them a little bit more. So that's why we feel the next morning, oh, we've got sticky muscles, it's those DOMS. So by doing the movement and the blood going into your muscles whilst we're doing our workout, in our cool down, our muscle fibres aren't actually like, we've torn some of them, but they're not as solid.
Yes.
So that is the perfect time
Perfect
to be
time.
able to increase our range of motion, increase our flexibility, protect our joints.
Absolutely, and that's something that we do in Rejuvenate. Is that it's not only working with the trigger point balls, the little hard balls. There's actually a whole flexibility section within that class. So whether you're doing it as a 15-minute bolt on or the full 30-minute, which is the full class, you'll be able to get the flexibility in there as well, because it's so important, and so many people don't do it.
Yes. Right, I'm going to use me as a...
Okay.
I can tell you from my movements in a yoga class what muscles I have always, without a doubt, rehabbed, cooled down, stretched.
Right.
And which ones I've gone, oh no, that's a bit painful to do, I'm not going to do them.
Really?
Yes, from my range of motion. I could stretch my hamstrings.
That's interesting, isn't it?
All day long. I can bend down and I can touch my toes. I can put my hands flat on the floor. Love stretching out my back. Love stretching out glutes, hamstrings.
What's your kryptonite? What's your nemesis?
Quads. My quads.
Ooh.
And I'm a big cyclist as well.
Right, okay.
So
I need to get you to Rejuvenate, don't I?
So it's even at the end of the classes, because I will teach classes, but it's our job to be at our 60, 70%.
Yes,
Because we are there for you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm not at my 90%, 100% workout. But even at the end of those classes, when I'm going, okay, we're going to go to a quad stretch, I've gone, oh,
Yeah.
I've got to catch my foot. Like my flexibility through my hips, through my knee, and because of my quads, yeah, should have.
Yeah, interesting.
But I am really conscious of that now, because I know when I'm 70, 80, 90, that if I'm not working on my flexibility now,
Yeah.
it is going to heavily impact
It will
me.
heavily impact you, absolutely right. But it's almost like, I don't know about you, but in my 20s, I almost felt invincible, and that I was never, ever going to get injured. I would always be able to work at this level and have this range of movement. And actually, it's only as you start to get a little bit older and you think, oh, goodness me.
Yeah, completely.
And it's, looking at people with a similar age to me that haven't got the range of movement, haven't got the flexibility. And you think, goodness, that's just because of the type of movement and type of exercise that you do or don't do.
Yeah. And it's wonderful and it's beautiful and it's a privilege to be able to work out. And it's a privilege to be able to go meet people to work out.
Yeah.
And it's a privilege to be living in our bodies.
Yeah.
But you want to, elongate that potential for
Totally.
as long as possible.
Yeah, totally.
And emphasising again that if we're doing it now, we are going to help ourselves out when we're in our later lives. And if we're helping ourselves out, then by default, we're actually helping out our friends and our family who might end up having to help us if
absolutely.
If it came to it.
Here's something else for you that I'm just sort of off the top of my head. As well as doing a physical cool down, do you ever do any mindfulness?
Yes. Do you know what? Yes, I do that.
Really? So mindfulness is, again, it's become quite popular, hasn't it? I think it's become, people sort of talking about it a little bit more and people being very present and things. So what do you do? Do you have like a routine, or do you listen to an app, or what do you do?
So I am...
Or do you listen to my voice on repeat?
Oh, yeah, I'm like,
my voice notes.
Mission. So I am an environment driven, but like a nature. I love the sound of wind through leaves on trees.
Really?
Oh my gosh, it just completely zones me, takes me there, and it just lets me really concentrate on my own breathing. I can use the wind through the leaves, and I think about the muscles that I have worked. And it's that mind-muscle connection.
Exactly, it's the connection, isn't it? I'm very similar. I enjoy listening. I like waves on a beach and that kind of thing. And again, it's thinking about your breath and just really being, it sounds a little bit corny, but being grateful for having the body that you're in that's moved you that day or whatever you've just done. And again, just looking at what you've done work-wise and releasing it all. It's so nice.
Yeah, and the great thing about that is you could do 2-3 minutes.
Yes.
And it feels like you've done half an hour.
Half an hour.
You're like, oh, hello, back in the room.
And you haven't even got to do that anywhere where people can see you, especially if you're a bit of a drooler. Do it at home.
Yeah.
I have people that have fallen asleep in relaxation sessions of my classes, and it's lovely that you get them to that state of just being totally relaxed in them. But I always do feel sorry when I have to go and sort of wake them up when the rest of the class is packing away. But yeah, it's nice to be able to do that.
Big topic that we've not really spoken about, but is very, very relevant.
Yeah.
Is our hydration and our nutrition.
Yes.
So hydration is so important. Warm up, hydrated, workout. You want to be optimal for your workout. So you want to make sure you are
Absolutely.
hydrated.
Now, here I'm going to throw something in here to the mix. Now, I have recently been running some aqua trainings for our group exercise instructors across the country. And I did a little bit of a quiz, and I don't know if you have noticed. Do you ever see people taking water bottles in with them to the swimming pool area?
I am that person that does.
Good girly.
Thank you.
Good girly.
It's so hot round a pool anyway.
It's
I'm
so,
like,
but when people are swimming or doing an aqua workout, it tends to be the mindset that because they're in water, they don't need to hydrate themselves.
Yes.
And it's not until you actually point it out to people that actually keeping hydrated is really important, even if you're in the water working out. It's really weird how people just think, I don't need to do it.
Yeah. But, okay, here we go. If you're swimming, take a water bottle by the side of the
On the
pool.
gym floor,
You've always got your water bottle with you. Just
classes take a water
do it.
bottle.
And it's so important in our cool down and our post-exercise
Yes, definitely, yeah.
that like we need to stay hydrated, not just for our muscles. Our brain is a muscle that needs water.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to help flush out those muscles. It's going to help just, so many benefits.
And then also, when you've done some sort of a workout, let's talk about, how long do you leave it before you eat after a workout? Are you one of those people that is hungry immediately after you've worked out, or do you feel that you can wait a little bit, or how do you feel personally?
So I suppose I'm slightly different just because I'm training and then I'm also teaching classes. So I know that I need to, and I'm not on a weight loss journey.
No, yeah.
I want to maintain.
Yeah.
So I know that if I don't eat enough, I'm not going to be able to deliver my classes effectively. And I'm really going to feel it at the end of it. And then where's my energy going to come from for the next day? So I'm really conscious about getting enough.
So you're thinking of it as a fueling for your body.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm the same. Yeah.
Post-workout, if you have been doing a strength-based program, any form of strength, it's so important to get protein into you.
Now, obviously, we're not qualified nutritionists,
Nope.
but this is our experience.
And it is important to get that protein into you because your protein is your muscle repairer.
Yeah. So this is especially if you've been doing strength-based workouts, you said, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm conscious about making sure that I've got it in before my workout.
Okay.
To make sure that I've got the energy to last throughout the day.
So you're looking at it as a point of fueling your body before you've started working out, and then after you've done your workout, there's a post.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, my warm-up starts with what I'm eating.
Yeah.
So that is my mindset. Am I hydrated? Have I got the right food on board? Then my physical, okay, I'm going off to the class or I'm going off to do this gym. Yeah. That is part of my warm-up.
Interesting.
Yeah. Mindset.
It is about mindset.
If you can click the two, like your food, your hydration, into that warm-up, then it gives you that, okay.
It's almost like having a little superpower, isn't it, in your back pocket?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to know a little bit more about Rejuvenate.
What would you like me to tell you?
I would like to know, if I'm a member and I'm walking into the class, what can I expect?
So it might be something that you do on the gym floor after a PT session, or it might be something that you do as a pure studio class. It's a barefoot class. Equipment-wise, you will have little round hard balls that you'll be given by whoever's taking the class. I also sometimes use yoga straps. I get blocks out. We have just a general mobilising warm-up. We've spoken about warming up and mobilising, making sure all your joints are all ready to go. And then we go into some work. We always start with our feet in Rejuvenate.
Okay.
Because we use the balls to get all of our feet ready to work, because everything we do comes from our grounded, the base of our feet. So we work upwards. So we do a little bit of mobilisation. We warm the feet up. And then we get into our flexibility part of the class. So it's either got a focus of maybe one day you're going to be looking at hips, looking at opening your hips. So maybe I'll be thinking I've got people in my session today who I've seen doing lots of cycling classes, or I know that they've been on the treadmill a lot, they're going to have very tight hips. So I'll start with some flexibility. So some classic yoga poses, but it's not a yoga class. We're not talking about breath. Because I understand, and this is really why Rejuvenate came around, because we understand there's a barrier with people thinking, okay, I know I need to do flexibility work. I know that it's going to help me jump higher, lift heavier. I've looked in the studio. I don't want to be doing a yoga class because it just doesn't float my boat. It's not happening for me. And that's fine.
Absolutely.
So we thought, how can we bridge the gap and give people the benefits without some of the bits that maybe is a barrier to them. So there's no chimey music, there's no breath work. It's very functional. So we'll be doing yoga poses, but the instructor will be very much keying it into what you do as a usual movement pattern. So if it's going to help you lift or whatever. We do a little bit of that. And then I get the balls of terror out, as I call them.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's standing, sometimes it's on the mat. And again, I focus on releasing tight areas. So whether people have got different little nooks and crannies that need to be released. If we're doing a hip opening base class, we'll be doing lots of work on that. I'm going to get you in a quads one.
Yes.
I will get you in that.
Cycle for Rejuvenate.
No cycle. Okay, I'll do it. And then we just have a very quick cool down.
So is it a hour-long session?
30 minutes.
Oh, perfect.
Or 15 minutes.
Oh, great.
So when we trialled it, initially we were going to have it as a 45-minute class. We trialled it at a number of different places with different type of people. And we were going to have a 45-minute and a 30-minute. Mm-hmm. And the feedback we got was, no, we don't want to be in there for 45 minutes, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. So that's all it is.
Which is perfect and great. So you could do your 45-minute, your 2-hour gym session, and actually, there we go. We've got qualified, we've got trained. There is a specific session running.
Absolutely.
To get that an effective cool down.
An effective cool down. It's going to stop you getting injured. It's going to help you if you've got any little bits of scar tissue or anything like that. It's going to help you not get injured again.
Great. Win-win all round.
Winner.
Yay! So I think we've chatted.
We have chatted a lot today about warm-ups and cool-downs, haven't we?
So summarise. How do we summarise? Warm-ups.
Do it.
Do them.
Cool down. Do it.
Will do.
Do better.
Must try harder, Joe.
Think about flexibility. Think about how it's going to fit into your routine. Think about getting into that mindset of why you need to warm up. Hydration, fuel your bodies.
And understanding that your body is amazing. So help it, prep it, look after yourselves. Yeah. And we're not asking you to do a whole hour before your workout.
No.
A whole hour. Like, it's just an important part to incorporate in your workouts.
Whatever they may be.
Yay. Oh, amazing. But as always, team, if you've got any questions about any of our podcasts, and specifically this one, please do email them into us.
Yeah, let's have an email. And the email is podcast@everyoneactive.com.
Yeah, because, this could be a subject that we do talk about lots. So send us those questions.
Yeah, absolutely. And give us a nice 5-star rating or a thumbs up on whatever provider you listen to or watch your podcast on.
And share the love.
Share the love.
Wherever you found our podcast, send it to your friends, post it on your socials. Let's get the Everyone Active
and tag us
podcast
on it.
Community out there.
Let's
do it. But thank you for listening or indeed watching. Take care, team, and we will see you soon.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.